welcome to Port Elizabeth, otherwise known as Gqeberha. And it's been amazing because I actually had a message from Cameron van der Berg saying, have you spent the morning trying to pronounce Gqeberha? I didn't need to. I did grow up here, and it's great to be back in my hometown. The reason I am here, it is the SA Swimming Championships. South Africa swimmers' Olympic hopes will be on the line as they dive into the pool here in Gqeberha. And with me, one of the officials, Dean Price. Dean, how are you doing? Excited for what we're about to see take place?
Yes, very much so. Today is the start of the Olympic trials, and obviously we've been through quite a traumatic year with the COVID, and for many of us, we were preparing last year. It got cancelled, it's got postponed. A lot of the intermediate events were closed off. So it's finally great to actually be at a venue where we can actually swim our Olympic trials. And this morning is going to be very exciting. We're swimming all the 50s this morning. Now the 50s are not part of the Olympic program, but what we wanted to do, we wanted to give all our swimmers the opportunity to kind of break their nerves, get the feeling of swimming fast, and then the official Olympic events are actually going to start tomorrow morning. So it'll be great to see the swimmers, great to see them sort of test their skills today. It'll give us a feeling what we can expect over the next few days coming up in Gqeberha at this beautiful Newton Park venue, and we're looking forward to some great swimming.
Yeah, it certainly is beautiful. They've pulled down all the stops here in Gqeberha, and kudos to them. I must say, I mean, it's obviously a change of scenery because over the last couple of years they've been involved with Kings Park over in Durban. Not just that in terms of the change, but because of COVID, as you mentioned, in terms of swimmers with where they reside, they didn't have to come down here to qualify. Those that are in South Africa have to swim, but those based overseas can get their qualifying times over there.
That's correct, because what happened is that many of the countries now have imposed a quarantine period, and it would be a little bit unfair to actually put the kids in a quarantine for 14 days. That's a huge chunk of time which would go out of their training and preparation for Olympics. So what we did, we discussed it with SASCOC, and in view of the IOC and their policies, we want to make sure that everyone has equal opportunity. So what we did, we gave everyone who's based overseas the opportunity to qualify at a meet, at a competition where they're residing at this point. But for the local swimmers, obviously we've been hamstrung with facilities and things like that. So we wanted to give them all the opportunity to come down, get a competition. If they've done the time, great. We've got 9 qualifiers. We've achieved the Olympic time so far. We're hoping to get a few more qualifiers. We'd like to get some relays to qualify. We're looking for a team of about 16, 17 swimmers to go to the Olympics. So we're really excited for this week, and we think we're going to see some great swims. And we just want to tidy up those relay qualifications and get a lot of girls going to the Olympics this year.
Chatting to Graham Hill last night, he said keep an eye out on the women's relay teams. They are going to shine, and they're going to shock quite.
200 freestyle, they qualified in Stellenbosch. And now we want to try and get the 4x100 freestyle and the 4x100 individual medley relay teams to qualify. And that'll be great. That'll put about 8 or 9 girls on the team. And it means the girls are predominant. It'll be a great team. So we're holding thumbs, and we're looking forward to some great swimming in the relays over this week coming up.
I mentioned Graham Hill, of course, being the SA swimming coach. I mean, it's a veritable who's who of the South African swimming world taking part here. We've seen Chad le Clos, he'll be taking part. I mean, he needs no introduction, but a name that everyone's talking about, Tatiana Schoenmaker.
Tatiana definitely is, I think, our biggest hope for a medal at the Olympics. Right now, she's currently ranked number 2 in the world, which is an incredible performance. A lot of the top swimmers are out there competing at their trials, and she's still retaining that position. So we're hoping to see what she can do here at our trials. But she did a 105.8, which is the second fastest time in the world so far in the 100 breaststroke. And that's great not only for her individual performance, it's great for our relay team. So we're really looking forward to her, see what she can do in the breaststroke events. I know, speaking to her coach, Rocco Meyering, he's told us she's in great shape. She's in the best condition she's ever been, doing the fastest times she's ever done in training. So we are really confident about Tatiana.
For the uninitiated, I know that Kings Park is generally regarded as the fastest pool in the country. Can we expect fast times down here in Gqeberha? I know the one side that we're looking at fairly shallow on the left-hand side from where we are. But what does it mean to have a fast pool?
I think there's different opinions. I think it's just that Kings Park has been used more often, so people have had a good swim there. But I remember the year that we swam here and the water turned green and there was everything that could go wrong went wrong. Yet Chad Leclos stood up and went like the second fastest time in the 100 butterfly ever. So, I think the top swimmers all say as long as they've got warm water, they are ready to go. They can swim fast anywhere. So I think this pool looks great. The water's crystal clear. The water temperature's perfect. Everything's perfect. I think there's no excuses now. Now it's time to get up and swim fast.
Yeah, you speak about perfect. I mean, the facilities are great. And not only that, I see that they've had a refurbishment with regards to the starters blocks. Looking good. We're at sea level, which of course is very important. And I think they really have pulled out all the stops for the swimmers.
Absolutely. I know I saw an article on YouTube that they spent just under $500,000 refurbishing a lot of things, new lane ropes, new blocks, things like that. So we wanted to make sure that every swimmer competing here had the best opportunity to make the time. As South Africans, we have a deep history of sport in our culture. And swimming is perhaps one of the foremost Olympic sports in our culture. We've always achieved, we've always done well. And so we wanted to make sure that we gave every swimmer the best opportunity to achieve the Olympic times, to make the team and to get there. So we didn't want any obstacles in their way, and I know they've had enough obstacles with COVID, so we wanted to make sure that every other little detail, we're trying to give them the best opportunity that we can give them.
Yeah, on the subject of COVID, we've come straight from the hotel, and it's been great in terms of the bio bubble. I'm experiencing it for the first time from a swimming perspective. They really have crossed the T's and dotted the I's and making sure that everything is strictly towards protocol. I mean, you can't leave that hotel. It's basically a straight line from here to the hotel and back.
Absolutely. We can't afford, we've got, Olympic sports like Olympic swimming. I've been watching the teams around the world, and most of the teams like in Europe, they have between 6 and 12 swimmers who make the Olympic time. We're looking at hopefully with relays a few more, but we can't afford to lose 3 or 4 of our top swimmers. It'll devastate our team, by losing 3 or 4 of our top swimmers if they come down with COVID. So we're making sure that we take every precaution to keep those swimmers safe, and we'll keep doing that right until they get on the plane to go to Olympics. Just make sure that we give them every opportunity, keep them in bubbles, protect them. We're not allowing anyone to come near them or risk infecting them with anything, not only COVID, but just the normal flu. We don't want any kind of infections. So it's a very precarious time. You want the best performance, but you also have to kind of be very mothering and protecting at the same time.
Yeah, we've got to give kudos as well to the organizers for putting it together. Chatting to Anton last night, who's one of the organizers, the logistics manager, and you can imagine for an event like this, there's a lot of logistics. And you're saying it's the first time ever where all the swimmers for the Nationals have stayed under one roof.
Yeah, and I think it's good for them to get that experience, because when you go to Olympics or when you go to your World Championships, generally you stay in a hotel or kind of a bubble environment. That's mainly to protect the individuals from being harassed or, bugged by people on the outside. So you stay in a sort of a closed bubble environment. So it's not something new for elite athletes, but it's something new to be done in South Africa. And we're very happy that it's been successful. We've done it in Stellenbosch, we're doing it again here. So we're very successful, it's worked. So far we've been very lucky, no one's come down with COVID. And hopefully cross fingers that we get through this one as well. We come out with some good results.
And of course, it's not just Olympic qualifiers, we're also dealing with the Paralympic qualifications.
Paralympics as well is a big part of our swimming heritage, with the likes of Natalie du Toit and swimmers like that who've been an icon in South African sport. Obviously, it's quite a complicated system to qualify for Paralympics. Now, it depends on a point scale. So what we're looking for, and it's going to be very hard to judge as a spectator, because there's different classes. There's about 14 different classes that will compete in the races, and each class has got its own set of points. So they are scored according to how close they come to the world record. So you might watch a Paralympic race and someone will win, and yet they might only come third because the other swimmers have got a much slower time for a world record. So we're going to be watching the Paralympic swimmers, and obviously each swimmer is going to try and come as close they can to the world record in their classification. And I think we have 3 slots at the moment available to go to the Paralympics. So the best performers are the ones who are going to get the slot. So they'll be fighting out for the best performance. So it's not necessarily beating the person next to them. it's going to be best performance, and that will guarantee them or get them a slot to go to the Paralympics.
And it's amazing. I mean, you mentioned Natalie du Toit, but South Africa's got a long history, not just with the Olympic success, but also the Paralympic success. And we've had individuals that transcended the line from Paralympics to Olympics. You mentioned like the likes of Natalie du Toit. Look back, a man, Terence Parkins, silver medalist in Atlanta.
Absolutely. What an incredible performance. And I think those give all South Africans hope that we as a people have the ability to achieve something great. And I think sport keeps that passion, that drive alive in all South Africans. And what's really nice is to see the youngsters here, they still have that passion, that belief that they can do something great. And we're looking forward to Tatiana, and hopefully we're going to see a few more come to the party this week, and we can get a great team together to go towards Tokyo.
Dean, sorry, I know you're a very busy man. Just speaking about Tokyo, I mean, you must be nipping with regards to the event actually happening. I mean, it was touch and go at one stage. Obviously, we didn't have it last year. Keeping the same name. Unfortunately, no spectators, but the most important part, the competitors.
That's what we are here for the athletes. I think it's going to be a different games, but I think it's going to be one of the most exciting games in the sense that everything is going to be completely new. You know, no spectators, no things, and I think everyone, it hasn't lost its glamour or demeanor in any way. Everyone is so excited to get there and be part of it, and I think these trials will be one of the stepping stones towards going to Tokyo, and I think everyone's really excited. There's a lot of nerves today. Hopefully the nerves will settle down after today, but it's going to be a great competition, and we're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to your coverage and everything you guys do. It's really been great.
Finally, I don't want to single out too many people because they're all stars in their own right. We mentioned Chad, mentioned Tatiana, but anyone else who should keep our eye on?
Okay, obviously we've got some great swimmers, as you said. Chad, Tatiana are the big names. The newcomers on the blocks are the ones we're going to be watching. Okay, we've got some really strong girls. We've got Dunay Coetzee, we've got Rebecca Meader, we've got Amy Canny, strong in the freestyle, Kayleen Corbett in the breaststroke. In the men's events, there's the whole group. I think Matthew Sates has been a really dominant force this year in butterfly. He'll be chasing Chad. We've got Peter Coetzee in the backstroke. So I think it's a lot of young kids coming up, and I think it's going to be a very exciting week coming up.
Oh, man, Dean, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the swimming, and I'm sure we'll catch up throughout the course of these trials. Thank you. Thanks very much, Dean Price. Great to have him on board. Very, very knowledgeable when it comes to this fantastic event. And yeah, we're about to get things underway here at the SA National Aquatics Championships taking place at the Gqeberha. Over the next 6 days, we'll be seeing some phenomenal swimming take to the waters here at Newton Park Swimming Pool. Olympic dreams certainly on the line as the officials take to the sides of the pool before we get the first events underway. Speaking of which, the first events, as you heard Dean speak about, is 50-meter butterflies. That will be starting in a few moments' time. So our first event, only 3 swimmers taking to the water from Malawi. We've got Jessica Makwenda from the Free State, Marine Nokia, and from the Eastern Cape. Just here where this event is taking place, Batwandwa Janchi. Is the women's 50 fly prelims. Seed times ranging from 31 seconds through to 37. So watch out for the middle lane. Marine Nokia certainly the favorite to capture this one. And you can spot her there with the orange cap in lane number 4. Mentioned earlier the refurbished starting blocks. Looking good. As the first event is about to get underway for the 2021 SA Swimming Championships here in Gqeberha. And in they go, first in the water, Marine Nokia. Remember, only one length of the pool for this fast swim, 50-meter long course butterfly for women. Marine Nokia in front, opening up a good half a body length so far. And just behind her is Batandwa Janji, 30.56. Good effort from the Free State. Jason Makwenda there, making a trip back to the starters. Next up, the second heat of the morning. A few more swimmers taking part this time. Vitamin takes the win. In fact, it was Hannah Robinson, in fact. Oh, Inga Vitamin with the win, 26.86, a very, very good time. Congratulations to her. From Aquatics Gauteng Tshwane. Terrific swim from Inga Vitamin. Looking at the lineup there. Taylor Lovemore, the name to watch out for. Almost a good 2 seconds faster than any of her competitors, according to their seed times. Taylor Lovemore coming from KZN. Artemis, the white swimming cap with Funky written across the top. If you're just joining us, welcome to Swim SA TV. It's great to have you on board. It is the third heat of the day. Women's 50-meter butterfly. And in they go. Very good start there for Taylor Lovemore over in lane 4. White swimming cap looking very strong as she continues to power through. Ahead of the competitors, opening up a good lead is Taylor. And to her left, Danae Kutsia. To her right, Michaela de Villiers. But it is Taylor Lovemore who will take the victory confidently so. Eases up towards the end. She didn't need to exert herself too much. Taylor Lovemore, 27.16, her fastest time. Very, very good swim there from her. From KZN. Good start, Taylor Lovemore. The swimmers make their way back. As you can see the times. Second to her, Danae Kutsia. And Michaela de Villiers rounding off the top 3. So the final heat of this, the women's 50 butterfly. COVID protocols being observed, very good to see. They've been very, very strict here in Gqeberha, and rightly so. You heard Dean Price speaking about it. They really have pulled out all the stops in terms of making sure that every single swimmer is safe, and there's absolutely no risk whatsoever of their contracting anything, regardless of COVID, flu, the works. They are fit and they are firing. Erin Gallagher, massive name to watch out for. Seeding time well quicker than the rest over in lane 4, also from KZN. In goes Gallagher, watch out to the left of her as well. The swim, the pink swimming cap, looking good. Pulling away from her competitors as she touches first. And next to her, Kieran Haps getting second spot. But it is Erin Gallagher, 27.45 ahead of Haps, while Veronique Rousseau rounding off the top 3. No surprises there. In fact, pretty much every single swim going according to form, with the 3 swimmers occupying the middle lanes, capturing the top 3 times in their respective swims. So that's the women done and dusted in the 50-meter long course butterfly. move over to the men's. The women's head way back to the finish before they exit the pool. We'll get our first look at the male competitors. See them lining up. Heat 1. Robbie Leroux occupying lane 4. Christian Sadi, Vickers Potgieter, Ranskar, Winter, Dylan Wright, Mpumelelo Masui, and Aiden Bornman. The competitors taking part in this, the opening heat of the men's 50-meter butterfly heats.